Work.
Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claiborne, glad to be back here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland, where we had a great week last week. We almost would have had the same record, but Greg saw a pick that Cynthia and I had and was like, no. I've got to make a change. So he beat us by one.
I made the right change. I took the 49ers, and if you put those standings up, you guys do not want to have me three-peat. If I do what has never been done before, 3 straight years like the Chiefs, you will never hear the end of it. I will never stop honking.
We haven't heard the end of the two-peat.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be even worse.
I don't have anything to say. I just need to get back to picking better games,
Oh.
apparently.
Yeah, we've got an opportunity because there are some differences here in our picks today, which we will reveal to you as we continue this edition of Game Day Views. We get to Josh Allen coming off an across-the-street game for the ages last week in Los Angeles. 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing. First player in NFL history to do that in a regular season game. I'm sure Josh would have preferred to get a W, but pretty incredible stuff. So things don't get any easier for Josh and the Bills this week. They've got Cynthia's Red Hot Lions and a potential Super Bowl preview that we all need to know who wins the football game, Greg.
The Detroit Lions do. I feel like a jerk after that opening segment. My wife's going to be like, you just come off so unlikable. But what if you pick the Lions, the most likable team in the league because of their running game? Their explosive run rate since about week 6 is right there near the top of the league. It's not because of David Montgomery for the most part. It's because of Jahmyr Gibbs. And when I look at the Bills' defense, their biggest problem is giving up explosive runs. They're actually bottom 5 in the league in terms of their explosive run rate. They're pretty good overall, but they've tended to give up a lot of long runs. It's a lightweight group. You saw last week the Rams leaned on them a little bit in the running game. And so to me, that's where the biggest advantage comes, is Detroit on the ground. Even if they're not getting consistent 5-6 yards, I think Gibbs, maybe Montgomery gets a 40, a 50-yarder. And I actually not only have the Lions winning, I have the Lions covering. So hopefully you like me better.
Yeah, well, we'll try to get back on Cynthia's good graces. I don't have as much of a comeback as Greg does because he did come off as unlikable. I'm just kidding. We love Greg Rosenthal. I also have a Detroit Lions win. 3 points for me, where it's 29-26. And we all love the idea of a potential score fest, but it's actually the reason picking the Lions is their defense. Because if you zoom into a specific spot on the field, we discuss all the guys that they are missing, but Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph have played every game this season, and around 9 yards away from the line of scrimmage, all the way back to the end zone, they are top 3 in terms of completion percentage allowed. And the reason for that is Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph are typically lined up around 9 yards away from the line of scrimmage. They're just so good. Throw Carlton Davis in the mix. These guys make plays, and all they need to do is just make a couple to get a Lions win here, Cynthia.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Too.
I hope you're both right and my model is wrong. No. The model picks the Bills. It's a prime number, 28-27. So I guess we all agree high scoring. But when I'm looking at this game, let's make a list of the players that are not going to be playing for the Lions. It is very long, so you're going to be seeing some mixtape that includes a lot of people like Malcolm Rodriguez, Aiden Hutchinson, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes. You know, there's other people who may or may not be coming back. Maybe Ali McNeil plays. Maybe we get Zach Pascal back. Maybe not. You never know. The problem is, and when you have that level of the defense not really playing, and Josh Allen, it's not like he's making these deep passes and deep touchdown passes this season. That's the area of the field that he likes to target. So your big hole is right where the Josh Allen-sized plug is. It's going to be problematic. But I admit, number one, I now wear boots when it's 50 degrees. This is terrible, and I'm picking the Bills. I'm going to have to revoke my Michigan card at some point here. Hopefully I can earn it back.
The computer model has taken over. It's become sentient and it has overpowered your heart. It's sad.
No, my heart. I love both teams, in fact, but my heart is with the Lions. It's just the model is with the Bills.
And I think most people know that you want the Lions to win. There's certainly a team that's hot on their trail in the NFC, the Eagles, that does not want them to.
Here comes Philadelphia. Young is on the move, spinning one way and another. He tosses past the sticks, and it's picked away by Darius Slay. And of all the 9 consecutive victories for the Philadelphia Eagles, this was about as grinded out as it gets. and Darius Slay comes up with the big play to seal the deal.
Philly has won 9 straight since coming off of their bye, although you probably wouldn't know if you listen to Philly Sports Talk Radio. They're playing host to Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers. George Pickens is doubtful. Who wins the Battle of Pennsylvania, Greg?
The Eagles do. And I actually think they get over that number. I saw it at first. It's 5.5. Wow, that's big. That's disrespectful to the Steelers. They're trying to trick us. I think the Eagles defense comes out, plays well, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease on offense. That's A.J. Brown. He said the passing game wasn't working. He was absolutely right. Their passing game has been in a steep decline over the last month of the season. I have them winning 24-17. We're seeing some better days out of A.J. Brown. I believe him and Jalen Hurts still can get it going down the field. Jalen Hurts said the deep ball will never not be a part of this offense. Well, it hasn't been for the last month. He hasn't been a man of his word there. So I think they're going to really stress getting the ball to Brown this week. But the reason really that I think they're going to win is this Eagles defense is so good. They're going to keep the Steelers in the teens.
I think, Greg, the deep ball is still a part of the offense. Jalen Hurts can still throw it. They just haven't necessarily been doing it, but they still make explosive plays because one of the easiest things in the NFL to do to get an explosive play is to give the ball to the potential, I would say, front runner. At least if I'm voting, Saquon Barkley is the MVP because he makes explosive plays happen. And then over on the other side, George Pickens is responsible for 60% of the Steelers' plays that are 36 yards or longer. If he's not playing, it just becomes so much difficult to drive the ball down the field against 17-time Super Bowl, a part of winning defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who's just like the butterfly effect of defensive coordinator.
Wait, what? He won 17 Super Bowls?
He's played a hand in them. Trust me, you're just going to have to follow the show long term. We'll go through all of them. But Cynthia, I've got the Eagles in this one. I'm just messing around with Big Fangio. But the Eagles defense is playing well as well.
Eagles defense is playing well, and that's actually my point and what drives my win in this one. I have the Eagles maybe bigger than you guys. No, not as big as Greg. 6 points, 26-20. Meme alert away. When I'm looking at the opportunity in this one, it is stopping the deep pass, and that's where the Eagles have been very good. We know that Russell Wilson, we saw that crazy old video a couple weeks ago with the moon ball. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Like an astronaut, like there was all this.
It was unhinged.
About how space, that's not how footballs would fly in space. Doesn't matter, because in this one, Cooper DeJean's got something to say about that. Quinyon Mitchell, he does too. If you are a coder, you sing songs when you code. Cooper DeJean, he is kind of mean every time. That's what I hear in my ear every time I code for this defense. But they are great at defending the deep pass, and especially with George Pickens being banged up, this decreases the thing that is a huge win for them. And by the way, in modern football, do you know that the only team the Steelers haven't won against on the road is the Eagles? Keystone State belongs to the Eagles.
Well, a fun fact there, and something for Eagles fans to celebrate if they can't celebrate all of these wins. The Eagles currently sitting in first place in the NFC East. Now let's go west, where we found another bird sitting atop their division.
Handoff, Charbonnet, left side, has a first down and then some. He's down to the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Seahawks! And they are still chasing Zach Charbonnet. 49 yards to pay dirt. His second touchdown of the game. The Seahawks came in saying, we got to find a way to run the ball. Holy catfish, they do.
Holy catfish, still a top 10 call for me. The NFC West leading the Seahawks have won 4 straight. They're playing host to the Packers on Sunday night. How does this incredible matchup look to you, Cynthia?
Why? Can somebody explain to me how the Packers are favored by 2.5 points in a row? This is a confusing one. Ooh. Maybe I'm taking the cheese in the wrong way, as in I'm throwing the cheese out because I'm picking the Seahawks in this one. 24-22, I have the home team winning. Why? Because we saw something from Zach Charbonnet that we haven't really been seeing. Kenneth Walker is a great running back. He's actually very good at nice elusive runs, but Charbonnet is great at breaking tackles. The yak has been wonderful from him. And yes, we know that the Packers, they can get into their opponent's backfield. Doesn't matter as much when you have the explosive power of Charbonnet. So those wrinkles and folds will really help. What are you laughing at?
The explosive power of Charbonnet, because it's it's pressurized and you could pop the cork.
Exactly. That Charbonnet cork is coming for you, Green Bay.
I love this pick. I love when the model gets a little spicy.
The model's angry this week.
I mean, it's got 2 upsets in the first 3 picks, and I love being on the same side of the model in this one. When it's got my Seahawks winning, I have them in the upset as well. It's in part because they're so diverse on offense. Yes, you can throw it to DK down the field, but you have Jackson Smith and Jigba over the middle, who is probably as important as DK Metcalf is in this offense right now. When Geno Smith needs a play on 3rd down, he looks to JSN. It's a reminder with all the rookie wide receivers like Rome Odunze or Marvin Harrison that people maybe aren't that thrilled with. Think about what people were saying about JSN at this time a year ago. He was struggling. Oh, what's happening? I thought this guy was going to be safe. He has turned into a dynamic playmaker. They move him all over the field. He really sets up what their passing game does. Their offensive line has been playing better. You saw that with some of those Charbonnet runs, but they've also been protecting Geno Smith better. And Green Bay does not get a lot of pressure on the passer, so I think there's going to be time to find JSN. As the season has gone along, he's gotten more important. Seahawks get the win.
I am going to go opposite of you guys and take the Green Bay Packers in this one. Yes, it's a stray bond, and a lot of it has to do with looking at the way that the Seahawks were able to run the ball with Zach Charbonnet going up against a defense I affectionately call the search bar in Arizona, where they have to scheme up exotic pressures. They use those to get to Geno Smith, but they just caught them in some bad spots last week where the Packers rush defense a little bit better, top 7 in terms of yards per carry defense since week 7. And then on offense, it's Josh Jacobs being very consistent and not in like a predictable fashion. He's just had 7 touchdowns over the past 3 games, which is the most in a 3-game stretch since Jonathan Taylor back in 2021. So it's the consistency and not the high-low variance running attack of the Seattle Seahawks.
Good thing the Lions won that game, or otherwise I'd hate that footage you just saw.
Cynthia's wiping away the footage. Like, get Josh Jacobs going in the end zone.
Batting it away.
That was in a win. Slowly becoming like a Eagles-Lions fan.
I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Lions fan.
Keeping watch there. We're just getting started. Here on Game Day View coming up, the playoff push is here. We got some mega matchups in the AFC with huge playoff implications. Time to go big or go home. Dolphins, Texans, Colts, Broncos right after the break.
NFL Game Day View is presented by Mercedes-Benz and the Holiday Love Celebration. Celebrate the journeys that bring us closer together.
Tua Tagovailoa out of the shotgun. Good protection. Throws it. End zone. Touchdown. Dolphins win. Jonnu Smith.
What a catch and throw. Jonnu Smith holds on to it. What a throw by Tua. Good night. Dolphins got to win.
That fight song going, those Miami Dolphins with the win over the enigmatic Jets, remaining in the hunt in the AFC playoff picture there at 6-7, right there with the Colts looking up at the Broncos and Chargers, as well as the Baltimore Ravens. It's time for the Drive to Excellence, presented by Mercedes-Benz. The Dolphins and Texans in H-Town, both teams fighting to make the playoffs. You saw the Texans on that graphic there. What do you see taking place, Cynthia?
Well, I see C.J. Stroud looking really good in this one and winning the game 26-22. I know that the Dolphins need it, but I'm looking at the opportunity here to watch C.J. Stroud not be under as much pressure. The Dolphins are not bringing the heat, and what we've seen from C.J. Stroud in this offensive line is a bunch of jumping off sides, not great, a bunch of issues in terms of keeping him protected, not great. And then people are like, is CJ Stroud broken? My answer is no. I think this will be the game where we see the strategy come together. They've had a week off now. They can watch even more of the film than they would in just a regular week. They can regroup. Nico Collins is back. Let's namaste here and get a nice win at home.
Yeah, they're coming off the bye, and it's like a Laramie Tunsil revenge game. Remember that trade from Miami?
Although, is he mad about that?
No, he's happy. He got to move to Houston. He got paid very well.
Right.
But I think it's a couple other guys who are getting paid well. Will Anderson, because he's a top draft pick, and Daniil Hunter on the edge, getting after Tua Tagovailoa. He might not have his left tackle, Teron Armstead, for this game, and that's such a massive factor. When Armstead has not been on the field, the on-off splits are alarming for this Dolphins offense over the last couple of years, and this is the worst week for it. Anderson had an injury. He's gotten to get healthier. He's practicing fully. Hunter's been as consistent as any team in the league. So Cynthia mentioned the pass protection that C.J. Stroud could get. On the other side, I don't think Tua is going to get it. I think this game is won in the trenches by the Texans. They get a win and maybe kind of win the division this week.
I like
basically.
Anderson's finger. No.
No. Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. The finger wag staying alive for a long time as we look over this. I see it's a close game, but I also have the Houston Texans winning because, as Greg mentioned, the pass rush from Hunter as well as Will Anderson. You want the run game to kind of help in that capacity? 39 and 44 yards. That's the total run total the last couple of weeks for the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, Joe Mixon has 7 games with 100 yards and a touchdown this season. I think we sleep on the fact that this is one of the best free agent acquisitions. Yeah, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley have been incredible, but Joe Mixon has also been very good for the Houston Texans. He's only played in 10 games. 7 of them have been 100 yards with the touchdowns. We all agree the Houston Texans may be knocking the Miami Dolphins off of the AFC playoff picture. A late push from Tua that's not going to work out. So no surprise that Tua and C.J. Stroud have their teams at least in playoff runs. What a surprise, though, by Bo Nix and how he and the Denver Broncos have been playing.
3rd and 11, down the middle, Mims, he's gone, touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims walks it in. They needed 11 on 3rd and 11, they get 93, and a touchdown to Mims. The rookie, smile on his face, pumping up the crowd.
The 8-5 Broncos in the thick of the wild card race. They're playing host to the Colts, who are also in the wild card hunt. I think Denver is going to scratch out a 24-23 win here, scratching out that 1 point there just out of respect to what Anthony Richardson and the Colts have been able to do late this season. But it's the defense that's the issue for me here, where Gus Bradley's defense plays the most zone in the entire league. It's been that way for a few years now. I foolishly picked the Jets a few weeks ago because I believed that there was going to be a tendency switch and Gus Bradley and company were going to play more man. It did not happen. And Bo Nix is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL in terms of completion percentage against zone since week 7. We know the Colts are going to be in there. They're going to play the zone, and he's going to have an opportunity to get the ball to Courtland Sutton as well as Devon Villay and all of these Broncos receivers. I have a Broncos win.
Yeah, looking at the score, it's very similar to you. I have the Colts covering, but the Broncos winning in this game because I think they win the battle of the line of scrimmage. Again, this time it's on the defensive side, getting after Anthony Richardson. It's been a consistent pass rush. They've gotten better with their 4-man pass rush as the course of the season has gone on. Nick Bonito getting some heat on the opposing quarterbacks, and Anthony Richardson's pass protection has been okay this year, but I think the Broncos have a better offensive line. The Colts put a lot of investment into their pass rush, but I think the Broncos have a better defensive line. So with a great coach like Sean Payton, he's putting money into that offensive line. The defensive line's getting after it. I think it's enough to get the win and basically punch their ticket to the playoffs. If these results are right in terms of what we're picking, it's Broncos, it's Texans, and this thing's over with 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, no, I think that is what happens, and I have a much more convincing win than you guys. I have 24-18 in favor of the Broncos. I didn't realize we would all be picking the Broncos, so I actually do want to point out and give a little love to Riley Moss, who's had a great season, but his injury scares me for their long-term viability. In this game, I don't think it's going to be as much of a factor. Obviously, the secondary will be bigger in games where there's more of a threat of too many different pass catchers. Anthony Richardson, that's not quite the threat there. He just throw the deep ball up, but there's a little bit more volatility on his side. But Moss is a really good example of how this team has grown since last year, and they're really navigating the Russell Wilson money situation well with their rookies contributing. They're making the playoffs kind of way before anyone thought they would. And this is a thing where now they paid their left tackle, so they're not going to have to take a tackle in the draft. They're giving themselves a lot of different options. So this is good for this year, and it's good for going forward.
I remember an analyst by the name of Cynthia Freeland before the season who said over on the 5.5 win total for the Broncos was the pick of the year, and you hit that, before December.
Yeah, listen to what she says, folks.
Hey, that was nice.
I should do it with my picks. Coming up here, Sam Darnold showed out last week, 5 touchdown passes. In your eye, Kirk Cousins. Just kidding. He probably likes Kirk. Will Sam have an encore Monday night against the Bears? We're breaking it down coming up next.
Want some football trivia? Just ask Siri. Which player has the most football MVPs?
Upgrade your Sundays with NFL Plus Premium and watch live, local, and primetime games on mobile devices, plus NFL RedZone, game replays, and more. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply. Now for a look back at the Chiefs' latest win. It's time for Active Mike, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Win the division. Don't get better than this, bro. Hey, mentality game. I need everything you got. Find a way to get a win. Let's go. Chase on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Another quick throw. Caught. DeAndre Hopkins backs into the end zone. Touchdown.
Speed has time. Pump fakes to the end zone. Caught wide open. Touchdown. Chargers.
Yeah. Let's go. Energy. Right? Energy.
To win the game. This is for the division, for the Chiefs. And right off the upright and in for the division. It's the doink for the division for the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're going for more. Going for more. We'll enjoy this one. We'll enjoy it, and we pick it up and we get ourselves back in. We finish this thing the way we know we can finish it, right? That's what we do.
Yet another division championship for the Kansas City Chiefs. They've got the Browns in Cleveland. Should they be on upset alert, Greg?
They should be every week because every week comes down to the last second, but they're going to win again. It's 24-19, and they actually cover the number this time. They are in a 7-game losing streak, the Chiefs, against the number while winning. That's almost impossible to do. So I think it's time to finally start zagging and believe that they can get it done. We're watching how all of these crazy endings happen to favor the Chiefs, and a lot of times it's because they're earning it. It's Patrick Mahomes making plays on third down like they did against the Panthers. It's their field goal kicker, yes, kissing one off the upright. I actually think this is going to be a normal game. It's a much worse team this week against the Browns, and it's something like 24-13. The Browns get a late score to make it look close, but it's actually not close. The Chiefs win comfortably for once.
I disagree, Greg.
Okay.
I agree that the Chiefs win the game, but I think they squeak by once again because we saw them make a change at tackle, and there was improvement in protecting Patrick Mahomes against the Los Angeles Chargers in the game where they win the division. But that improvement was Mahomes getting sacked 3 times, getting pressured on 38% of his dropbacks. Like, it hasn't been that much better, and they still can't protect him. So now Myles Garrett comes in. Yes, they win, but it's because like a fumbled snap gets kicked through the uprights or something, and Mitch Holthus is chiding us for not believing in them, for not having them win. But either way, Chiefs win somehow against the team.
I have the Chiefs covering their number as well.
There we go.
26-20. Look out for snow in this one. It is in the forecast yet again. So I actually think the pass rush and the ability to defend it become more impactful. So in this case, let's look at what the Chiefs have or maybe have not done. They actually rank bottom 8 or worse in both pressures and pressures that have been disruptive and also sacks. Like, this is not a Chiefs pass rush that we're necessarily used to. That could favor Jameis Winston. Now, here's the thing. The snow, though, kind of negates some of that because if there's snow and he tries to pass, things could get messy. I don't know, just watch the weather forecast. Ohio, the state with the most snow per square foot.
Wow.
You get fun
So many facts.
meteorological facts here on Game Day View.
Meteorologist right here.
Hey, other shows, that's my main job.
Let's move on to a team that does play where it's cold, but they play inside, the Minnesota Vikings. They've won 6 straight, and Sam Darnold is balling.
Sam under a lot of pressure. How'd you get away from that? Now he throws deep. Justin wide open. Caught. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson with a 48-yard reception. But Sam Darnold was Houdini for the day.
Yeah, Houdini. It would have taken us a full 3 minutes to show you Sam Darnold's 5 touchdown passes last week. The Vikings play host to the Bears on Monday night. I think the Vikings win, albeit in a close one, 20-18. These two teams played back in Week 12, and the Bears able to score 17 points in the final bit of the game to send it to overtime. I don't think it's necessarily that level of push this time around, because it's hard to keep pace with Sam Darnold making all these great throws on the run. If you go back to the last couple of weeks, what has Sam done on the run? He's completed 75% of his passes at 17 yards per attempt. It's YOLO Sam, fully engaged. I think the Vikings win it.
Well, I have a different score than you. I mean, I have the same winner, but I have a 10-point win for the Vikings, 27. I do have them scoring 17 points, the Bears.
Hey, there we
talked
go.
about 17 points, but a 10-point win for the Vikings. I just want to remind people that Justin Jefferson is in that upper tier, that upper echelon with the Jamar Chases of the world, with the Saquon Barkleys of the world, with the Derrick Henrys of the world. Sometimes I think because maybe the Lions are in the lead in the division, we kind of forget, like, the Vikings are right on their tail. Week 18 could be for all of the marbles in the North. And why? It's not just because of Justin Jefferson when he's the subject of a target. It's also what he does when he's not the subject of a target. Look at him stiff-arming people, shoving dudes out of the way. I wouldn't want to press him. No, thank you. Get away from me, sir. So that is something that I think, I don't know, I just don't feel like we talk enough about how he is right up there. If you're going to say MVP for those other guys, you got to at least consider that this team, who's they're right up there.
They're 11-2.
That's a good. That's a good score.
Years, of course, you'd be leading the division. Last year at this time, you'd have the best record in the entire NFL. So put more respect on the Vikings. Give them a big 16-point win for me, and put some more respect on Matt Eberflus. That's right. The only team where when you fire their coach, they actually get worse is the Chicago Bears. He was holding this defense together. If he was watching last week, he's probably saying, hey, how you like me now? The one thing I gave you was a sound defense. It wasn't as good as we expected this year, and you kind of spent all these resources, and we were just average. But you would have loved average in Santa Clara a week ago. They were average when they played the Vikings about a month ago. When two teams in the division play twice in about a month, I really favor the better team the second time around. You miss Eberflus, the defense is getting
Are you
worse.
trolling our producer?
No.
Our
I'm just
producer
saying.
is a Bears fan, and he is trolling him right now.
You took Eberflus out of the mix, and the defense
I
fell
guarantee
apart.
you, Hytham, nor I can't think of any Bears fan that's like, yeah, Greg, come back, Matt Eberflus.
I'm not saying come back. I'm just saying their defense will be better.
Sorry, Matt. Still to come. Justin Herbert and the Chargers came up just short last week against the Chiefs. How will Jim Harbaugh's squad respond Sunday when Baker and the Bucs come to town? The playoffs are on the line. Our picks for the Bolts and Buckaroos coming up next. It's time to seize the season, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, as we take a look at the first touchdown score odds between the Bucs and the Chargers across the street, where Rachaad White leads the way at plus 490. So let's dig into this matchup between two teams in the thick of playoff hunt. Tampa's in first place as of right now in the South, while LA is holding on to an AFC wildcard spot. Who feels good about their chances after the game, Greg?
Chargers do. Love this performance. In terms of their defense, responding. When you add a defense that turns the ball over a lot and you put Baker Mayfield into the mix, I think it's bad news for the Buccaneers offense. Quietly, over the last 4 games, Baker Mayfield kind of come down to earth in terms of being able to not make mistakes. 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and another 4 fumbles, and the ball security just hasn't been good, and you have that against a very sound Chargers defense who's making plays on the ball. Just imagine the Chargers uniform at home, and they will have a home field advantage. I see you Chargers fans lately making it loud. Tarheeb still gets a pick. Baker struggles.
No, I thinking not necessarily Baker Mayfield struggles, because I have a 1-point Chargers win, 24-23 in this game. I think they score those points, and a lot of it depends on the injury status of their best receiver, which is the rookie, Ladd McConkey, who has 81 targets on the season. He has 26 targets more than any other Charger, and that's with him missing the entire game last week in significant portions of the previous few games where so much of the passing game goes through him. Justin Herbert playing through some things as well. I may change this pick later, and it gives me some pause here because Baker Mayfield, while he is struggling, if anybody can get hot and score some points, Cynthia, it's probably Baker.
Well, I'm going with full Baker, so you can go with them covering the spread. I will go with taking the Bucs in the upset, 24-23 here. Beep, 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 beep. This is how I catch Greg. This is how I catch Greg.
Spicy model week.
Spicy model week. But I'm looking at the opportunity to run against the Chargers. What? You say? That sounds bananas, Cynthia. But when you're looking at how Baker Mayfield does when he hands it off to his running back out of the shotgun, things are good between Bucky Irving, who hasn't practiced so far this week, so we're a little questionable there, but also Rachaad White. The average is 6.7 yards. This has been an area that over the past few weeks runs to shotgun-aligned running backs or quarterbacks that hand it to running backs. They are vulnerable to them, so arrow up one, arrow down the other.
Seize the Season brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Bet just $1 and double boost your next 10 bets up to $25. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older. The 2025 NFL Pro Bowl games presented by Verizon are back, and the roster is up to you. Cast your ballot for the 2025 Pro Bowl games. Vote and send your favorite players to compete in the multi-day AFC versus NFC competition this February. Vote now at probowl.com/vote. Time for quick picks here on Game Day View. The Falcons and Raiders Monday night. Atlanta has dropped 4 straight. Do they snap that streak and get a win, Cynthia?
They do, but I don't feel super great about it. 24-22 is my final score. Let's give some more love to Bijan Robinson, please. Over their 4-game skid, he has had 4 touchdowns and 3 games with at least 92 rushing yards. That's just rushing, not even scrimmage yards. We aren't talking about how well he's doing because the team is not winning. This is a great opportunity to target the Raiders' run defense. What are you?
Greg doesn't like my
that
score.
disrespectful score.
Oh,
the
your
Raiders
score.
are playing better. Desmond Ridder revenge game potentially.
Sure.
There you go. You have them covering. So
I have
do
them covered too. I have them covering, and I think you should play Sincere McCormick if you have fantasy. So there's a little extra right there.
Nonetheless, we've all picked the Atlanta Falcons. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders coming off of their bye week to face the Saints down in New Orleans. How do you feel, Greg?
I feel like the Commanders are going to cover this big number. Jake Haener starting at quarterback for the Saints, but it's more important what's happening on defense for the Commanders. Yes, it's the Marshawn Lattimore revenge game. Now, I don't know if he really needs to take revenge on a bunch of Saints teammates that he enjoyed playing with, and Dennis Allen, who might be the guy he wasn't happy to work for, is no longer there. But Marshawn Lattimore is one of the top 5 to 10 cornerbacks in the entire NFL, so you're adding him to a defense that's gotten its act together, and it's going up against an offense that frankly isn't that talented. At quarterback, Jake Haener, that's a lot to ask. Not great receivers for Haener to work with. Go Commanders.
All right, let's go to the Cowboys and the Panthers in Charlotte for the first time all season. I am taking the Carolina Panthers. I think they win here 23-16. And it's not just me. We are all on the Carolina Panthers going up against Cooper Rush and this Dallas Cowboys offense that we saw kind of come apart late against Coach Lou's squad on Monday night. Cooper Rush throwing the end zone, the red zone interceptions. There were some spotty spots where they almost win the game, but then things go wrong. The Carolina Panthers, no stranger to that, but I think their team playing better right now. And they beat the Dallas Cowboys. So let's go Panthers. Coming up, the Bills-Lions, the game of the year. Vegas expecting points on points on points. So who's going to light up the scoreboard the most? We're chatting player props for the potential Super Bowl preview coming up next. The NFL Fan of the Year contest presented by Captain Morgan celebrates extraordinary fans who inspire others to spice up the game. Visit NFL.com/fan of the year to discover their stories and vote for who you think should be named the ultimate fan of the year. Time for more or less here on Game Day View. Bills-Lions could potentially be a Super Bowl preview, so let's get our foam hands out and talk some player props for this game, starting with you, Mr. Rosenthal. More or less than 294 yards for one Josh Allen. Total yards.
That was an easy one. I mean, I might take him to more than 294 through the air, but when you give me his rushing total, absolutely. I think this is going to be an offense-dominated game. Ultimately, both offensive lines are going to win the matchups against the opposite defensive line. And we've seen with these play callers and these quarterbacks, if you protect them, they are going to score. They're going to go up and down the field. We've seen in Detroit's most important games this year, they've tended to be score fest. Let's go, Josh Allen. More.
All right, this one going to you, Cynthia. Will Jared Goff throw for more or less than one touchdown?
Oh, I like that one a lot. More than one passing touchdown. Why? Because it counts when you throw the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs, doesn't it?
Sure
Yes. So when you're looking at the opportunity to target some of the things that the Bills defense doesn't like to defend as well, that is where that guy Jahmyr Gibbs and also Sam Laporta like to operate.
The Porta has been very, very solid, and also very, very solid his entire career. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the question posed to me, will he have over 66 receiving yards? Yeah, I think he will. I think that there's going to be a significant number of points scored in this game, and we saw what Puka Nacua did to this Bills secondary a week ago. Two very different players with very different styles, but Amon-Ra will have a chance to be successful because there's going to be a lot of possessions, a lot of points in this game. So let's get back to you, Greg, as we're on a more streak. Will James Cook have more or less than 48 rushing yards?
Let's just keep the mores going. I think there's value in more. If someone asks you more or less and you say less, you're not having any fun. James Cook goes more. This was the hardest one for me, though, because the Lions' rush defense is quite good. But James Cook, coming off one of his worst games of the season, as I mentioned, I think it's a mismatch, offensive line, defensive line. And I listened to what Cynthia was saying when she was saying the Bills are going to go ahead and win this game. And it's all about the linebacker level for the Lions struggling. And so maybe it doesn't need to be consistent, James Cook, but a couple big runs. They miss tackles at the second level. It's James Cook. He's the best Cook in the league right now.
Yeah, significantly better than the historical James Cook, who was a horrible person. Let's go to Cynthia.
I meant, more than his brother. I don't know why I was taking a shot at Dalvin Cook. That's just rude.
Well,
awesome player.
Both solid players for their time that we've been able to see them play football. Cynthia, let's go.
What?
Better than Jared Cook, too. No, not really.
Just Jared Cook somewhere dodging fire. Let's go to Jahmyr Gibbs. More than 91 total yards from scrimmage.
More. We are now cursing this game to be like a 13 to 15 thriller. But ultimately, when I'm looking at the opportunity, like we all mentioned, it is about those wins at the line of scrimmage for both offensive lines. That includes Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs has been the guy that has helped keep Jared Goff great when he's facing pressure. So even if Taylor Decker isn't a full go, doesn't matter. They'll just throw it to Gibbs.
You know what better than Jahmyr Gibbs, in a normal week, is Jahmyr Gibbs with 4 extra days rest. This guy's the most rested running back in the league. David Montgomery helps him rest. The NFL schedule makers help him rest. That means big plays.
Yeah, we've had big plays, and we've had some big names. And a name that more people are paying attention to this season is Khalil Shakir. 54.5 receiving yards. I'm not breaking this Moore streak. We're just going to keep the Moores going.
Oh.
Now, there's not going to be this plays like this incredible touchdown, which was a great play. Khalil Shakir is great after the catch. The Rams secondary clearly needs some help. I think they're a little bit better on the back end in Detroit, but more because, again, a lot of throwing in this game, a lot of points.
I feel like we have now just absolutely cursed everything. Again, 15-13 is my new score.
Not gonna happen.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like too much more.
Yeah, just more of this game. But we're not going to have more of this game. We are going to get to the rest of the games, even though we appreciate all the points that could be available between the Bills and the Lions. Let's get back to some quick picks, and we'll go to the Baltimore Ravens, who had a chance to rest. They're coming off of the bye, and after that bye, it's Tommy DeVito and the G-Men. How is it going to go?
It's going to go so well if you like the Ravens 44-6 in one of the beatdowns of the year. Tommy Cutlets, you're not going to want to eat these cutlets. Derrick Henry, it's gonna get some major yards and probably rest the second half of this game. The Giants have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. The pass rush is better for the Ravens, and this defense, they're not playing for anything. It's basically a home game for the Ravens. The Giants fans are all depressed. They didn't get Bill Belichick. We could show Justice Hill. I might like whatever the over for Justice Hill is in this game. He's gonna get it too because they won't even need Derrick Henry by the end. Lamar Jackson, you guys heard him when they lost that game. How angry he was. He was going to come back. They finally got their bye week, and now they play the worst team in the NFL.
I just want to know, when do they get that second field goal? Right. Is it like a sad field goal in the fourth quarter?
It's funny you mentioned that. It's actually 6-6, and everyone's thinking, this might be interesting, and then they go on a 38-point streak.
All right, let's go to the Bengals and the Titans. Cincinnati still has a 3% chance to make the playoffs, according to Next Gen Stats. Do they keep hope alive and maybe see that number go up?
Hope is not a great investment thesis, but the Cincinnati Bengals still win this game. 25-21 is my score. Chase Brown, don't forget to start him. I know that sometimes you look at the Tennessee defense and you're like, how should I play this? It seems like they're more susceptible to the pass. There's 2 good pass catchers. You also want to play Chase Brown, and you also want to play Tony Pollard. Play everyone in this matchup. I think both defenses have some vulnerabilities. That man wants to get paid, didn't you see? He just did the little paid thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Chase Brown. Don't forget.
Yeah, get some money. On the way, let's go to the Patriots and Cardinals out west. Arizona has dropped 3 in a row, but I think they right the ship here, winning by 3, 20-17. A late scare by Drake May. But it's another rookie that I'd like to discuss, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr., who has, over the past 3 games, got a load of targets. They're all very, very deep targets. Just find a way to incorporate Marvin Harrison into different parts of this offense because he's such a talented football player. And I believe that he and Kyler Murray and this offense can get a little bit better and maybe keep some of their playoff hopes alive in the NFC. Last one, Jets and Jags and Duval. Will Gang Green get a win here, Greg?
I believe they will. 26-16 is my score. If you saw it, Aaron Rodgers in Miami last week, that's where old people like to go and really live out their best life. He played well against the Dolphins, and now he's going to be in Jacksonville. We finally saw the Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson combo that we had been hoping to see for months. They both looked outstanding. Garrett Wilson, to me, is the one. He's the guy who can beat your best cornerback like Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Rodgers getting rid of the ball pretty quickly. I actually think they're going to play their best football, at least offensively, down the stretch. And it's certainly in this matchup. The healing powers of the Florida sun.
I mean, yeah, you just said old people like to go to Florida, so.
Yeah.
I can't follow that. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say.
I can't call. We're the same age. Shout out to all of your accomplishments, Aaron Rodgers, this season. Maybe not so much.
Move to Florida, Patrick.
It's time to write this down. I'm going to stay here as long as I can. We're talking some of our favorite prop bets for the week. Grab a pen and a pad, because last week we were undefeated.
Woo!
We're on fire. Boom shakalaka. Speaking of dated references, we'll be back. We're back on Game Day View, and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, Cynthia Freeland, and the whole gang get you set for kickoff with NFL Game Day morning. Gerald McCoy goes one-on-one with his former teammate, Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans. Plus, the guys tell us if Lions-Bills is a Super Bowl preview. All that and more Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Congratulations, Cynthia, taller than DJ.
Yep.
Yeah, that time it was inaccurate in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not taller than DJ.
We're working our way up to Cynthia eventually being the tallest person on that graphic. Let's get some predictions for Week 15. For Write This Down, what should the people take note of, Greg?
They should take note of me hitting a double banger last week in terms of my picks, combining a quarterback's passing yards and his yardage and his touchdowns and a team. Let's go Vikings this week. 26.5 points. That's their team total. I feel great with them against the Eberflus-less Bears. And then Sam Darnold. You think he's going to get through a game without at least 2 touchdowns? I love this. You can smash them together just like I did with Tua and the Dolphins points last week. This time it's Darnold and the Vikings.
It's going 2 at a time trying to catch us, Cynthia. What are you writing down?
I'm just going to go slow and steady because that's what wins the race. And I have Bo Nix to run for more than 17.5 yards against the Colts on Sunday. You said that they play what kind of defense?
Zone.
You know what you can do against the zone defense?
Run.
Yeah, So Bo Nix likes to run as well.
I would like to add one more thing onto the pile of overs that we have for the Bills game against the Lions.
Oh,
and that's
here we go.
Jamison Williams going over 52.5 receiving yards against the Buffalo Bills. Because unlike Cynthia's model, I have high hopes and belief in the Detroit Lions that they will come out and get.
Can I tell you something crazy here?
Yeah, sure thing.
Danny Rogers, the Lions reporter, just reported that Jamison Williams and Kyron Williams, first cousins. Did anyone else know that?
I had
did
no
not
idea.
know that.
That's a very
all about facts.
athletic and
I'm
talented
just all about facts here.
Yeah, Thanksgiving
Wild.
in the Williams family. It's just, watching football, seeing
Scoring
guys score a whole bunch
touchdowns.
of points. Thanks for watching Game Day View with our family here, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy the games. We'll see you next week.